Hey, what is up everybody? Blaze for here and have for you guys another video of Persona 5X. In today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and doing our first impressions of the character Turbo here, which is actually going to be one of the first few characters that I'm not going to be pulling right off bat. Many of you guys know I've done a few videos on this character in which she is not a bad character, at least from the looks of it on paper, but she is during the time that we have anniversary coming around. If you're anything like me, we're definitely trying to get as much currency as possible for anniversary time to at least be able to get the character and their weapon and maybe a dupe and so. But without further ado, we're going to go over this character and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So sit back and relax, but let's get straight into it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and look at the little training area here, in which this always comes up every last time where you can test out the character here. And the character, as I did tell you, is a physical support character, which was very strikingly weird. I did not expect her to be a supporter, nor did I definitely expect her to be a physical, but once that got announced, it just made everything even more so interesting. So we're going to take a good look at least in what she can do and see how good she really is. So I'm going to explain every last one of her skills as well. So first things first, of course, at A0, we already know this character is going to start at A0. We know exactly what we need here. But at the start of the battle, each ally, for at least each ally's turn that we end up having, she increases something called velocity, which is actually a little bit of part of her passive here. Which what this velocity does is at the start of each turn, you're going to use certain little buffs. I think it's called like something transmission here. That's still one of the things that's kind of weirdly translated, but it's like something transmission, in which this turns into at least velocity to let you go extra turns. So essentially she is more of an extra turn type buffer, which is one of the few things that you guys are going to kind of look at. And this allows you to really get more out of your buck when it does come down to the character. Now, the real thing is, or at least the real question here is, how does she really perform? Where do we start off with? So I'm going to test out the skills and see exactly how this is going to go. So first things first is the skill 1. Now skill 1 is called Vortex Strangle. I guess they're not fully translated inside of the game yet, or maybe I need to update my client, which is probably the latter, where I do need to actually update my client here. But the amount of percentage that we're getting is 126.5% of physical attack damage to at least all enemies here. As you can see, this is a AoE type move here, and this increases our at least damage dealt for all allies. Pretty much the higher our speed is going to be, the more damage we are going to do for at least, I think it was 2 turns, correct? Yes, okay. So you 2 whole turns, in which during this time, if we use this during the extra turn, we actually do get increased skill damage. Now for this character specifically, I'm unsure exactly how I want to do this. Usually I would think it's going to be more of a what's it called, more of a buffing character. So I don't know if you would use this per se at least too often, unless you're really just wanting to deal some damage with her. But she's meant to be a buffer, so I'm pretty sure skill 1 is probably where we're gonna kind of steer away from, and we're mainly going to be looking at the skill 2 and maybe the skill 3 as well. So going over the skill 2 here, the skill 2 itself is actually called overload acceleration. This is going to more or less help you out with at least increasing your defensive power, your attack power, as well as at least giving you some extra stacks of shield on an extra turn. Now this lasts only for 2 whole turns, and it is boosted by the amount of speed that you have on the character. Then of course we have the skill 3 here, in which the skill 3 is called Roaring Engine. This is the one that a lot of people are thinking is really good here, and it increases your at least pin rate and attack rate, if you guys can see it right here, and we move that up right there, boom. And it increases your pin rate and your attack rate immediately by a certain percentage, as you can see, which is going to be at least a 0.22%, and then of course 0.9%, as well as a 12% for attack here. And this is all going to be helpful for at least 2 whole turns, and during an extra turn we do get additional pin rate for 1 whole turn. Now this is fairly interesting to see how this is going to go. I think the one time I'm going to be sticking with here is going to be the skill 2 and skill 3. Skill 3 is going to be kind of interesting to see how I really want to go about this, but let's try skill 2 first and see what happens. So primary buff here, right? And then for this hit is we want to at least make sure Joker's doing a lot more damage, so let's boost up the first damage that we can deal. Right now that we have that in mind, let's go ahead and use Fearless Rebel because we want to start building up those stacks that we do need here to actually be able to get our extra turn. So at this point in time, I'm just going to go ahead and use this. And that was our first turn using skill 2. Now skill 2 is only able to give us the bare minimum, which is actually helping us out on attack and defense. Pretty much the higher our speed, the better this is going to be for the least buffs. So we did get the attack and defense actual buffs there. But next turn, we're mainly going to try and focus on a few other things. So I'm going to activate this here as well. And this actually gives us velocity surge. So this is the weirder thing I was talking about that is actually allowing us to do at least that extra turn, or at least allowing us to get some more little buffs out of this, if I am correct. I'm pretty sure this is velocity surge here at this point. So if we go ahead and take a look at her skills, we'll take a look at what we have here. Let's see if we got pop up here. There we go. So we do have our Overlord Acceleration, which is increasing our attack and our defense. This is already nice. And then now we deal increased damage by 30% when in an extra turn as well. So let's go ahead and give this a shot here. Now I do know her ult is pretty decent. It's all right, at least, in which this does increase our attack and our at least damage bonus for 2 whole turns. So you know what? Let's give it a shot. I want to give it a little bit of a look-see and see what we got into here. All right, so overall buff looking pretty decent. And then let's go ahead and use our skill 3. I just don't think we'll use our skill 1 all too often. So I might be wrong on that, but now we have our extra turn here. And at this point in time, since we did activate that extra turn, technically it would have been better to use our skill 3 then, but I'm going to actually use her attack. I want to see exactly what happens. All right, so that was decent-ish damage. It's all right. And then let's go ahead and use Revolution and see how much damage we got off. Now, since we used, of course, our skill 3, we do have that extra buff, but we use skill 1, and I think with the skill 1, yes, we do get, of course, a buff, but during an extra turn, it only increases damage, and I'm not sure if it's increasing damage for everyone or just her. So let's actually take a look see in that, because I don't know with this one if she got to increase damage just for herself. Unsure. Increase damage by 30% when in an extra turn. So we are in an extra turn here. Is there a increase for this one? I think it's only just for her. No, okay, it's for everyone. So yes, we do have the 30% increased damage, so we should deal some decent damage here. Get a nice old smack, which is pretty decent, seeing there is no real follow-up there. But go ahead and use this. A little bit of damage there, and I don't think anyone else is weak to it, so go ahead and try to kill off one of them here. If I had this with my Joker, I could do this. I could probably like try to showcase this a little bit better, but now we're in our extra turn. So once again, we got what we wanted, and then let's use Doom Pursuit. On 4 enemies, it did nearly 100k, which isn't really that bad. I will take it. It's pretty decent. And as always, nice. The character isn't like ultra overpowered. She does have her nice buffs, which I do like about that, because of course during her extra turns is where everything is really gonna go like insane. But in the time being, you would technically just swap through this and this, because you have those 2 turns and you just want to keep over and over swapping between which one you ever need. Turbo winching one here, which is called Vortex Strangle. I do like the at least extra turn effect, but anything other than that, it's kind of iffy in my opinion. I'll have to, of course, look more into this character and actually go do some more research digging with this character to really find out how I like the at least how this character is going to really perform. But I really do think she's an okay character. She just came at the wrong time, which definitely sucks, because any other time I probably would have picked up this character, but since Anniversary is right around the corner, it definitely just dampened that whole chance of that happening. But you guys let me know what you think about the character so far. I'm pretty sure she's pretty all right. She really seems like an interesting unit to actually play with, but only time will tell how long she actually stays around. So till then, everybody, thank you for watching. Peace out.